penalty advantage as he peels around. Buster at one, still going for the line. Here, rolling stuff. It away. Lasika on the hard line. Bounces one, still going. The inside centre, rampaging to Brucky in open space. Look at him go. Marcel Brucky puts his head down. Scully's won it. He won't hit. He goes up though and chases this one now. It's outside the 22. The ball bounces up. And Jetty has it. Genius. Somerset, the Terminator is in. The United States have defeated Scotland for the first time in history. Hello and welcome to 10 Minutes with Karl Tenana, All Black Sevens and World Rugby broadcasting legend. How you doing down there in NZ, my Zulu warrior?
Yeah, no, awesome. Thanks, Dallen. Good to be talking to you. You know, we've been travelling the world, but it's a different day, you know, with all this going on at the moment. Everyone's on lockdown, so it's good to catch up, my mate. The rugby corner is in fine effect.
Oh, there we go. What's up too, my friend? We'll get some sales going your way as well, you bloody star. You're always wearing it. I love it. I mean, I still haven't got the kit. Yeah.
Well, the thing is now you got to promote local. You got to promote the local businesses, how to get back on their feet.
100%, pal. Now let's talk about promotion. You've been all over social media, World Rugby channels. There's been KT's Backyard Boot Camp, which has been amazing. I can't even get through the warm-up, by the way. And then you've got the rugby homeschooling. So what's it like for your family? You've got members everywhere, but there you are, goose-stepping, chirping, running around the house.
Yeah. No, it's been a funny old time. You know, the boot camps are something that's really been going off, and something especially in New Zealand. I don't know what it's like there over the States. A lot of people getting into the fitness and getting around with the families and getting out and being active. So it's something that, has really been targeted back here at home and keeping their mental well-being through the physical activity. So it's been really cool to be a part of that. We're getting some cool vibes. And I'll tell you, the Americans are really getting into it. I get a lot of followers from America, and they're in there. And Jacksonville, of all places, seems to be a popular place. I don't know, but is there nothing much in Jacksonville?
Well, is that the home of Tiger King, maybe? You know, Florida?
Well, that's right. That's it. The Tiger King. So it's been really cool. And then the homeschooling is just a bit of a laugh, bit of joviality. And my nephew's driving that. Actually, he's a comedian back here in New Zealand. So he's a producer, director, cameraman, and editor. So he's been ripping it. I'm just there being the putting on my makeup and just stand out there and saying a few words.
I was going to say, it's never looked this good, your social media, so it's got to be somebody else. And if it's not Tiana Penatani doing your TikTok channel, it's now this, you know, the old family, you know. So,
yeah. And I've got my oldest daughter's on camera number 2, so and my youngest daughter, she's an actress. She's the one I'm like smoking with the fend and just bowling over. So she's got to toughen up.
Oh, I love it. Now, pal, listen, you've mentioned online too, you took a nice little shred at your old teammate, Eric Rush.
Who?
Exactly, never heard of him. All-time Dream Team Sevens. I know this is a doozy. So what have you got for us? You're starting 7.
Yeah. Well, we've done the forwards. I can't get the kid out of the bag as yet. We're going to release the backs next week. But, I mean, it's all a bit of a laugh. I mean, and semi-serious. We've got Jonah Lombe, the big man there, running over 4 billion people to score a try, and then we've got one of your mates. So anyway, Frankie Horn, the Beastmaster. Yeah, you've got to have someone to do all the hard graft because I don't like going into ruck. So Frankie Horn, can you please go in there? And then we've got Eric Rush, the old man. We used to call him Tom Jones because he just kept on coming out, and every year he come out with a new album. He just wouldn't go away. It's like a weed. As much as you try and put weed eater, it keeps coming back.
Oh, I love it. Speaking about going back to the old days, you played on the 7 Series for many years. Your first ever game representing New Zealand. Can you take us back to that moment? What was going through your head as you took the field?
96. Got a call up to go to a World Cup qualifier in Portugal, of all places. And the body sort of didn't react to the hard training and the nice nutrition. So we were beating teams by 90-0, 100s-0. And my first game, I come on as a replacement. We're up 80-0, and I didn't score a try. That whole tournament, our 4 must have been like 2,000-0. I didn't score one try. I just couldn't run. I couldn't operate. I was like as stiff as a board. Everything was a straight arm in it. It was a nightmare. But the one thing I got out of it, Quagga, is that I love being in the environment. I love that jersey and lead on to different things. But I knew it was going to be a hard task to be able to bend again.
But that's the thing. You obviously, you know, as a youngster, right, you take the field, you got all these folks around you. But then you settle in, right? And you end up captaining New Zealand for many years. Is there a tournament? Now, you're going to play in many big tournaments and events, but is there a game or tournament that stands out the most to you as your favorite all-time memory in All Black Sevens jersey?
Yeah, the first one probably would have been when I first captained New Zealand. That was in Fiji, and Fiji only had 2 years, I think, where a full New Zealand team went there and played. And I think I remember it was against Uruguay in the quarterfinal. So that was one. And the other one was in Hong Kong, 2001, I think it was. We're playing Australia. They had an awesome team that year, and they were beating us. They were beating us 2-1. There's about a minute left, and luckily enough, I was able to score 2 tries. And in the minute, we scored after the bell, and I was able to put it underneath the post, and Monash was able to convert it for the win. And I've never seen Gordon Titchens. If anyone knows Gordon Titchens, he's very stiff. They call him hips because his hips don't move, and his knees were terrible. They were like bowed out like an O. So he jumped about 5 centimeters off the ground. That's the most airtime. That's the most hops he's ever gotten. That's how excited he was. So it was awesome, awesome achievement. And to break the Aussies is always nice.
Oh, always a pleasure. Whether it's South Africa doing it, New Zealand doing it, we love it.
That's right.
Exactly. Now, pal, let's go to toughest opponent that you've ever locked horns with on the 7 Series.
Easy one. Absolutely easy. Waisale Serevi, I mean, probably the greatest sevens player of all time. And I won 5 player of the tournaments in Hong Kong, and 2 or 3 World Cups. So, I mean, I remember when I'm probably my second Hong Kong, we always ended up playing Fiji normally in the semi-final for some reason. But I remember one particular time he was running down the sideline, and before we ran out, Eric Rush said, just whatever you do, just take his head off. To all of us, so okay. And he's running down the sideline, and you just see 6 blokes in the line just trying to take his head off. And he just stepped every single one of us. I look back, and there's like 30 metres of space and no one there, and he just goes, bink. So, I mean, he was just a legend. He was a master. You can see why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, now switching gears, worst roommate on tour and why?
Oh, geez, there's been a few. Mills Muliaina, he's probably one of them. You can hear it even when he's commentating now. He's quite snuffly, and there's something in the bridge of his nose. So you imagine rooming with all that junk in here on the chest and the nose. All I got at night was. So if you're trying to sleep and you're hearing that, it's a debacle, absolute debacle. And then you get this. The man grinds his teeth as well.
Great insight on Mills. Shredding him, I love it. So staying with the shreds, Eric Rush, you mentioned him. He's written a couple of books. Well, he's paid someone to write the books for him, obviously, because he can't read or write. But he definitely has some good stories to tell. Is there anything you can get him back with? Oh,
not really. I got so much respect for the guy, but I mean, there was one instance. We actually played a tour in the series went to Israel once. There was a stop there. It was called the Holy Sevens, and we're in front of the Wailing Wall. I don't know if you heard about the Wailing Wall. It's where they all go and pray, and they put little messages on the wall and do their thing. And Eric goes, "Okay, we'll do a haka." Okay, that'll be nice. And I had a video camera, so I got our manager to video it. It was a really poignant moment, and everyone was really fired up. And went back to the hotel after, and everyone was buzzing. I was going through with the replay on my camera, and I saw it come to Rushy. We come down to do the he, and all I see is his false teeth come flying out of his mouth. So we replayed it at the when you go preview. That was the first thing to come out. Whole front teeth come out. So
you got to get that, pal. If we can find the archive footage of that would just be brilliant. I mean, again, great respect for Rushy, but again, we got to give it to him because he's the master of shredding, folks. So.
Oh, he's the man. He's on Ninja Turtles. He's shredder. He's a shocker. And most of them are lies, like 10% truth, 90% lies.
Yeah. Oh, no, he had me cracking up. A Kiwi mate to send me one of his books to run through, and you were featured there quite a lot. And I just love the stuff he says about folks, and just gets up at a formal banquet and just starts making up nicknames and shredding folks. So that's kind of what you want on tour, right?
Yeah. I mean, he always led from the front. The cool thing about that was actually when we used to go to these functions and make everyone laugh, and we'll all go up and he'd take the mickey out of us. But then usually you get the youngest guy or the newest guy to get up and talk in front of everyone as well. It was actually quite a cool thing to see, because you see these real quiet guys get up and next minute they won't shut up.
Now, speaking of not shutting up, you've had a brilliant career in broadcasting. All right. Let's give us your insights. Obviously we know why people love playing the game, but what do you love about being on the other side, behind the mic?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I tried, after I finished, I wanted to fill a hole and still be involved with rugby, and I tried the coaching, sort of got to the point where it was getting quite serious, and it was just too much time involved for me, and it wasn't something that I really loved. And so I got opportunity to try and do some broadcasting, and I just clicked straight away, and I loved it. And you know what it's like, being an ex-player, international player, still get to go to the grounds and mix with the teams and get that buzz. But then, you know, we're in a pretty privileged position to talk about the game we love and do some really cool things and mix with some really cool people. So for me, it's just the way to giving back to the game more than anything. And one thing I've learned pretty early on, I'm sure you did as well, is like, you can't fake it. You are who you are, and people are either going to like you or not. So as soon as you realise that, and hopefully more people like you than they don't,
exactly.
You get a call back, you know, and you get to really meet some really eclectic people, you know, and some really cool people and do some really cool things. So I mean, and like this morning, I still texted Karl Niles. We did a trick shot, social media one, and then Karl was involved, and we just come back now, like 2 weeks later, Karl. But you got there. You say you're fast, but it's the slowest thing you've ever done, mate. So he finally did it, and all he did was kick a ball from the bottom stairs.
I saw it, a drop kick. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's not even a trick.
And I love how he did the slow-mo. Like, it just was such an impactful moment. You had to slow it down as well. Keep the change.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd be nice to him and say, look, mate, you should probably try that in the game. He goes, yeah, I have. I've done it once. So everyone must have been tired, or everyone must have been, you know, like he must have been the only one left on the field.
Well, that's right. 200 tries, him and Barry Baker, and both have one conversion. So you're right. It must have been that game when they won by 100 or something. Now, pal, this is last question. So you and I have had a blast last year in Argentina, commentating the under-20s. We obviously been on the Sevens World Series. You forever, me for a few years. But let's talk about your personal highlight. And a lot of us in broadcasting, the ultimate goal, right, when you're a player, is go to the Rugby World Cup. But as a broadcaster, tell me, how was that, my friend?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome. You know, we're both there, and to be in Japan and the way the whole country really welcomed the world with open arms, you know, and we're there to be able there and experience it. And for me, doing my first World Cup from start to finish, and to be at the opening game and then being at the final was amazing, you know. And it's especially for us, you know. So you know, my heart was with New Zealand, and then having to go up and talk to the guys afterwards was really heartbreaking. So, you know, as a broadcaster, looking with that hat on, you have to be professional, even though you're broken, and then see the flip side of that, and to see South Africa go on and win the World Cup was really an amazing moment, and a poignant moment, I think, in the history of rugby. So to be there and experience that was something really cool. So the ultimate for me, and I'm sure it was for you.
Yeah, congrats, Katie. That was brilliant, man. Great to hear your voice on all the broadcasts. Can't wait to join you soon, my friend, and get you on the podcast called The Rugby Hive for a longer chat. You'll be stepping people like the Great Wall of China again on the Rugby Corner. This was Karl Tenana. 10 minutes. Keep the change, you bloody legend.
For